Hello, hello. Hola. Greetings. Come on in. Hello. It is Thursday, March 24th. I am Michelle Cordespew, and this is Nails Over Coffee. So on Periscope. So here we go. This is my cup for today. I'm rocking Mickey today. Home with the flu. That's no bueno, Nelly. Hello. Hello, peoples. Oh, definitely in need of this coffee today. Oh, hi, Mare. Mare just got here. Hi. Hope you guys are all having a good day. All right, we'll let everybody get filtered in here. It usually takes a minute or so. Hello, Miss Mare. So we'll just sit here and enjoy Mickey. Ah, Mickey. Oh, I have this one piece of hair that is freaking me out. See, the things I do for you guys. Cold? Oh, yeah, I was a little cold. That's funny. Well, it's been decent around here and then not so much today, so I'm kind of cold. But I'm gonna have to take it off because after I'm done with this, I'm going to pop over. Ugh, Mare says it's 80. There, not so much here. I think we might crack 50 today. So yeah, after and it snowed there. Yeah, and like Colorado just got dumped on the other day. Like this whole weather thing is crazy. Like, hi Melissa. I'm just like over winter. I want to move where it's eternal summer. But so after I'm done with Nails Over Coffee today, I'm going to pop on over to me table and I'm going to do a few nails on a practice sheet that I made myself because I've seen a few questions about different product things that I think a practice sheet would really help some of those people. So after Nails Over Coffee today, I'm going to start broadcasting again real quick, so I can do a few nails on a practice sheet. So, things going on in the nail world today. A couple of things. We were having a lively discussion on, let me open up my Facebook page. We were having a lively discussion about, so it started on one thing and it kind of ended off on another tangent. Like, you know how that works. So, we were discussing in Nail Tips for Nail Techs. The question was posed by Michelle, is it possible that there are 0 legitimate salons in a large college town? She's in Athens, Georgia. I've been looking for months and have yet to find a nail salon that isn't part of a spa with limited services or an NSS, non-center salon. There are a few girls doing nails out of hair salons, but wow, how does it look in your town? Are the NSS this rampant there too? I'm looking at over an hour commute to the nearest legitimate salon I can find. And by legitimate, she means follows state board rules and regulations, uses quality product, and classifies service providers correctly. So how about you guys? Like, what's the nail market like, right? Hi. To the UK. What's the nail market like in the area where you live and would draw clients from? Which normally I say is like 5 to 10 miles, depending on how. And so I guess that would be 5 miles would be, I don't know, 15 kilometers or so. Sadly, it's not easy to find a salon I consider safe. Yeah, I mean, well, and I had commented, while you guys are typing in, I had commented and said, I'm really lucky here in Washington because even our discount salons are not horrible for the most part. First of all, they're not very cheap. You can't get a full set around here for less than about $25. And most of them are fairly clean. So we're super lucky, right? In my little area. So up to my eyeballs in chop shop, says Mare. No nails only, legitimate nail salons within 45 minutes. So I don't have as interesting of a look on the market, as you guys do. Because like I said, in my area, it's really not bad. They're everywhere. Having more problems with non-professionals charging 10 pounds for fake shellac. Right? Yeah, well, the gel polish versus shellac thing, it just really depends on your own personal preference. But 10 pounds, though, that's a lot of money. So they all do solar nails. Which, have we ever really figured out what that is other than a grab from C&D's, like, solar line from, you know, whatever it was, 1985, give or take? I mean, really. It's a pretty equal ratio of NSS, spas, express beauty bar type places, and a few very high end, right? Solar, and Mare says solar nails, bah, ha, ha. I use lots of brands, but they're using non-pro brands. Yeah, like there's places by me that are discount salons, but they're really clean and they use shellac. They just work really high volume, get you in, get you out kind of thing, but they disinfect their pedicure basins and they use branded products and stuff. So yeah, see, I was close. I said about 15 bucks. I think I was 15, 16 bucks. That was about right. Now, is that with the whole manicure, or is that just the add-on for adding shellac to a regular manicure? Supply places in Tulsa, Oklahoma selling MMA liquid in gallon jugs. Turn their asses in. Turn them in. Because here's the thing. It's not, yeah, even the high-end places do things that make me go, in Toronto. But I mean, so this will lead me to the conversations we were just having about legal versus illegal and stuff with MMA. But it is not in every state is it even prohibited to use methyl methacrylate. That's everything. I've seen some charge as low as 5 pounds and 10 pounds for gel acrylic extensions. Ugh. Yeah, don't even worry about those places. They're so not your competition. They're not even. That's like if you want like a high-end steak dinner, do you go to like the local 24-hour diner down the street, or do you go to like the best steakhouse in town? You go to the best steakhouse in town. So don't even worry about them. But so we were talking about the methyl methacrylate thing. The FDA regulation that says it is not for use in cosmetic products makes the manufacture and the distribution of those products against federal law. So if they're doing it and you know they're doing it, turn them in. Turn them in. Okay? Because that's actually the manufacturer and distribution level is where we can actually do some good, because it is a crime. It's a federal crime to distribute or use that product. I will look into that. Who do you report it to? It's to the feds. It's banned by the FDA. So I don't know. I mean, one could argue that in enough quantity, you might even be able to get like alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, because it could be used as a weapon. So we'll think about that. But you can definitely report to the FDA. You know, that's the thing of, you can always make sure your complaints and stuff like that are in writing, and then follow up with a phone call to make sure that there's a written record of your reporting. But we were talking about this. We were talking about the difference between, so that conversation led to this one, which is a conversation saying, well, is MMA illegal in any state to use? And so we kind of got caught up on the definition of legal and illegal. And Crystal summed it up for us by saying that prohibited and illegal are synonyms on thesaurus.com. So technically they're the same. But because I looked up in our state law, because here in Washington, we actually have, we actually have it in our law where it says, and this is in our, so here in our state, and you have your own in whatever acronym it is, but here it's the RCWs, which is the Revised Code of Washington, and that's our laws. That's our laws for everything. Everything from your traffic ticket to landlord-tenant laws to everything. Everything has an RCW. If it's a law, it has an RCW for it somewhere. And so it's whatever it is in your state. So the laws are the laws. Hello. So for us, it's the RCW. Then what defines the things in the law, like the rules you're supposed to follow, are called the Washington Administrative Code. And basically the WAC is the rules that you have to follow by direction of the laws. So, for example, the RCW will read, all salons must maintain minimum safety standards, period. And then in the WAC, it will actually list out bullet point by bullet point what those minimum safety standards are. So it's a real fine line because they are, in fact, depending on how the law is written, the WAC can still be part of the RCW, but not. So in my state, the RCW or the WAC, the Administrative Code, the rules say prohibited hazardous substances use of products. No establishment or school may have on the premises cosmetic products containing hazardous substances which have been banned by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for use in cosmetic products. Use of 100% liquid methyl methacrylate monomer and methylene chloride products are prohibited. No product must be used in a manner that is disapproved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So, what that means is in our rules here in Washington State, it says very clearly we can't use things for the purpose for which they were intended, according to the Food and Drug Administration. And we can't even have methyl methacrylate, MMA, on the premises. Our state's real big on if you have it, that's evidence of usage. So, like if you keep sanding bands or files sitting out on your table when you're not actually with a guest, then that is proof of reuse. So, state's kind of big like that. So that's the rules. And then the violation, they can take away your license. They can fine you $500 per violation, which means if you're putting MMA product on clients' nails and they find out about it, they can fine you $500 for each time. Or if they go into inspect your salon and you've got 5 bottles of methyl methacrylate liquid, they can fine you $500 for each bottle. There's also restitution if needed for people, like any or all of these things, taking away your license, restriction on scope of practice. They can take away your ability to do artificial nails. They can still let you be a nail tech, but say you can't do artificial nails anymore. So the conversation got to, but that's not illegal. Nobody's going to jail. And I was like, well, I think there's a difference, though, between criminal law and civil law and penalties. And so while nobody may go to jail, which, by the way, here in Washington, we've legalized weed too, but there's still ways to break the law with it. But nobody's going to jail for it unless they're selling it, distributing it. So just to kind of use a similar thing that, weed is against federal law. And so it's still illegal by a federal law standpoint, but by state law, possession and use is not illegal, but you can only use it, there's rules. You can only use it inside your home. You can't use it in a car. You can't use it outside. Like if you do any of that, you're breaking those rules, and then you can therefore be punished, but nobody's going to jail. And so, but wouldn't we still consider that, in fact, a crime? If somebody said, yeah, I got popped for smoking weed in my car and I had to go to court and I had a $500 fine to pay, wouldn't we consider that them getting caught? That they did something illegal? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I think that the law that we have on the books, now it's a director that enforces the law of our cosmetology department, not a law enforcement. But if somebody was to use that product on somebody and cause some great harm, like they lost a finger or something like that, then that could be criminal negligence, and that could come with some sort of a punishment. But even if it's their first offense, they're not going to go to jail for it. You hardly go to jail for anything on your first offense, unless it's murder. But so what do you guys think? Do you think that law on the books, as I read it, is sufficient to say that the use of MMA is illegal? Or do you think that it would be proper to say, yes, Florida banned it in 2004? Well, right, Mayor, but that's what we were talking about, was there's a difference between banning, like Lisa Ann and I were getting all caught up in semantics, I think, because there's a difference between banning, making it prohibited, and in her mind, making it criminal. I think that should be the difference we say. Not illegal, but criminal. And I just don't think that's ever going to happen. Like, I don't know. But I don't know what else I would expect them to do. It should be enough of a deterrent. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. I don't know. I just feel like that means if I know that there's someplace who's using it, I actually like this option better than calling the cops, because the cops have other ish to do. Like, I like this option better of being able to call or write the state board and say, this salon at this address is using methyl methacrylate products, which according to Washington Administrative Code, blah, 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 is banned for use in salons. And according to RCW, blah, 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 that these are the potential violations. What have you tuned into? Us talking about MMA salons. So here it's a finable offense, but if reported to the FDA, it's criminal. Okay, so same thing in Florida. It's a finable offense for the salon, and it's criminal to distribute or manufacture, because that's illegal on a federal level. And you people who are over in the European Union, in the EU, the rules are so effing strict in the EU, then you don't think there's any punishment in Illinois? I'd be interested to see that, because I know Indiana has a lot of punishment. Have to double check. Yeah, I think it's time for us to do a status check on what's going on with MMA in the country and around the world. So, but the EU is so strict on what they can have in their cosmetic products. Like, the list of banned stuff is like that long. And so I'd be interested to know, because I know there's a lot of MMA, like, rampant in the UK and stuff like that. Yeah, it's what's saying, it doesn't stop NSS salons popping up on every corner of the UK. But that's my point, though, I'm wondering is, so like here, There's no federal law in the United States against using methyl methacrylate, but there is against the sale and manufacture and distribution. So I'm wondering what the laws exactly say in the UK, and if there just couldn't be a concerted effort started. If they're not going, if the regulatory authorities aren't going to police our industry, maybe it's time that we do. I mean, maybe it's time that we all go out on our, from what I've heard, a lot of the older NSS workers are getting deathly ill from it. You know, I have a couple different thoughts on that, because methyl methacrylate is used for the manufacture of dentures and artificial hips, and those kind of things. And the people who make those are more closely governed, right? They're more closely governed by OSHA than our industry is. And I feel like if somebody can work in a factory making artificial hips with methyl methacrylate liquid monomer and be under OSHA exposure limits, that I would find it really hard to believe. Yeah, but see, not all of them do, though. Not all of them do wear respirators. It really depends on the size of the operation. And let me tell you, they're using it for crowns and everything for our dental work. And I've never seen a dental hygienist who's forming a crown on me wearing a respirator. So I think that there's probably some stuff that's attributed to it, but I'm sure there's some stuff that's attributed to other things. Like, correlation does not equal causation. So you can also probably correlate that a lot of those people are also lower income, which means they also, until recently, haven't had as much access to medical care. So something that somebody else who could have gone to the doctor for 10 years ago and did because they had medical insurance, but these low income workers who couldn't. And so now it's a really big problem, just compounded by where they work. Like, maybe they were already going to get emphysema anyway, but after working around the fumes for all those years, it's made what was going to be emphysema anyway worse. So you can't necessarily say that because they're getting really sick, it's because of the liquid, because there's also other factors that low income people have. So it would be really hard at this point to make that connection. I'd like to know who you report to in the UK. A lot have been shut down for other criminal charges, like people trafficking, etc. Yeah, human trafficking is rampant through a lot of these places. Yeah, it's a combination of many things. Candy said a lot of salon workers smoke too, which God knows I did for years. So yeah, you know, I mean, in the UK, I'll look that up. And in the European Union, in fact, for the big markets, I'll look and see what I can find. What the specific, I'll add that to my list of homework here. Look to see what the specific homework that I can do that can tell us laws. Because like I said, I think it's maybe time... I think it's maybe time that once we can figure out who we need to report them to, like, it's cut and dry in my state. In my state, if I find out a salon's using MMA, I can report them to the state board. And I can keep reporting them to the state board. And I can have all my clients report them to the state board. And until they eventually go in and inspect them and shut them down. So maybe it's time for us to start policing our own industry like that, using the rules that are already in place to get the information to the people who are, frankly, underfunded, overworked, too many salons to inspect, with too few people. You know, maybe that should be more of our goal than complaining about it. or even just trying to ignore it and we educate the public. But maybe it's kind of our turn to start, when we start hearing about this stuff, encouraging people to turn them in. You know, encouraging people to, in doing it yourself when you find somewhere. Like, I personally don't know anybody in my area that I would even suspect of using MMA. But that's probably also why we're not very cheap. You can't get a full set for $10 or $15 here. Like, the cheapest you can get one is like $22 to $25, and that's just white tips, clear acrylic. Like, if you want pink and white over tips, it's like $35. And if you want pink and white sculpts, a lot of our discount salons do them here, and they're still $40 because everybody here has to use the EMA. So, I mean, it shows that it can work. So, in any case, I think maybe that should be something we think about. So I don't know if I have any of my New Zealanders in the house today. It's not banned here in the UK, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure it's banned in the European Union for use in cosmetic products. And the UK has just now gone with the EU regulations. I did read that. So it should be banned there now for manufacture and distribution. Now we would just have to see what we could do as far as actual salon usage. But if you can start at the top and get the manufacturers and distributors to, if they get shut down, then the people who want to buy MMA don't have anybody to buy it from. There have been petitions to get it banned. I'm going to look into that because I have the, pulled up on my big computer. I've got the EU cosmetic ingredients list. And so I'm going to look that up because I'm pretty sure it's on there. So yeah, I don't know if I've got any of my New Zealanders here, but Nail Perfect now has a distributorship in New Zealand. So not just Australia, although they're giving more support out of their Australia offices, but now they actually have a distributorship in New Zealand, and they have trial kits that you can buy that are really affordable. You get like a liquid and a bonder and a sealant and a couple different acrylic powder colors and stuff, and it's like $30 New Zealand dollars for the kit. And they've got like a gazillion stuff, and they have their own in-house labs, and they control everything from start to finish. And they've got a gazillion different products. So if you are down under, you might want to check out Nail Perfect because it looks like they're one of those pro only doing it right kind of things. So I'll make sure I put a link to their Facebook page in the comment section below. And one more thing, the Cordoza Nail Supply monthly beauty box can ship internationally. Yay for Tiffany Cordoza. She can ship internationally. So the first person, it's $25 US a month. And then whatever for US and Canada shipping, I think it's $6.80 on top of that, but I'm not sure what it is for international. But the first, she said she can ship to the UK, she can ship to Australia, she can ship to New Zealand. She was already announced that she'd ship to Canada. So the first international, like UK, Australia, New Zealand person who signs up for their nail box at Cordoza Nail Supply, CORDOZA nailsupply.com. The first person who signs up that's international off North America will get a free extra goodie in their box, says Tiffany Cordoza, because I said, hey, people want the nail box. And so you can choose either the glitter box or the bling box. And then you get a box every month that will have like $35 or $40 worth of product in it, and it'll either be all new glitters or it'll be, and nothing's duplicated. And then the bling box has all kinds of bows and additives and all kinds of stuff in it. So if you're interested in the nail box and you want something for free, if you're the first person who signs up internationally, you'll get an extra goodie in your box. But yes, she can ship internationally. So yay for Tiffany Cordoza. So Nail Perfect, the illegal MMA. So currently on my list of things I'm investigating for nails over coffee type investigative topics is the the pro-only company list, booking and accounting, online or app software stuff. What's the best advantages, disadvantages? Some comparisons of acrylic brushes was asked. Pregnancy in the salon, talking about that air quality stuff we were just talking about, what the OSHA exposure limits are and what are the thoughts on pregnancy, and the laws on MMA in all the areas around the world. So those are all the things that I'm kind of working on in the background here. If you see anything like amazingly epic that goes along with those things, then please send me a message or email me at nailsovercoffee@michellecortis.com. And I have University of Nails topics. There's 25 videos up right now. Everybody who's joined has learned a lot. All of this marketing crap that I say crap and I'm a marketing grad. All this marketing stuff that we talk about with all the stuff that went on with the CNB stuff, and we talk about the pro-only stuff and all that. It's a lot easier to understand all the articles you read on LinkedIn or like Elaine Watson's videos, the fundamental principles that go behind that if you know the basics for marketing and business. And that's what the University of Nails primarily is doing right now, although I'm going to archive all my Periscope product tutorials on there as well. But so there's all kinds of videos in the universityofnails.com for $10 US a month. But upcoming topics that I'm going to film for University of Nails, or I've already filmed and I just need to get up and edited, are ethics in the salon, what's in a name, naming your salon, developing your personal brand, writing a mission vision statement, the steps on how to test a product, writing a college level paper, tools and resources. So cheat sheets for you to look up so that when you're doing your business plan template and marketing plan template for your professional certificate, then from University of Nails, you'll have some tools to do that. What it means to have a customer-centric business. That's a really interesting topic I just read about a couple weeks ago. The part 2 of cost per service, customer relationship management programs, CRM, SEO, search engine optimization, promotion, are printed promotion materials dead or alive, and some things that you need to know about that. Supply chain management, distribution channels. Even though you're small, you still have a supply chain, and the people who you buy from have a supply chain. So, not as dead as you would think, my friend. And then diversion. We talked about diversion a lot of the pro-only companies ending up in different places. And so for people who aren't old dinosaur nail techs like me, who remember when diversion was the hot topic of the day, I will do a video on it for University of Nails. So that's everything that I've going up on the Thursday roundup here. So diversion does suck, right, Mare? Yeah, I mean, diversion sucks, you know? The biggest thing is to do is if you see a product that you think is somewhere that it shouldn't be, to take a picture of the product, take a picture of the barcode of a product. There is so much information in a barcode. So if it's a barcoded product, take a picture of the barcode, and that way you can contact the manufacturer. Now with RFID technology and scanning technology for barcodes and everything, it's amazing. It's way different than it was 10 or 15 years ago now. They can track things down to an individual pallet of goods where it is in the world, even if it's on a container ship in the middle of the ocean. Like, the technology now is amazing. So if you find product that's somewhere you don't think it should be, like I found a brand of shampoo at the grocery store that I know shouldn't be there, you take a picture of the barcode and then you can send that to the company and say, dude, how did this even get there? They should, if they're a big company or a decent sized company, or they've got good supply chain management, they should be able to trace that bottle back to where it came from. So, all that being vigilant. being vigilant in what we do. Very passionate about my Kerastase hair care, even though I know it's a drugstore brand in Europe, but it's not here, and I like Kerastase. It smells funny, but I like it. And it is different than L'Oreal, even though it's owned by L'Oreal. So you guys have anything else you want to talk about on this Thursday? Or I'm going to go do some practice nails. Have I tried Pureology? I have. It was average, you know? Yeah, coffee. All the stuff that works smells funny, laugh out loud, right? It's my holy grail hair stuff. I love the one that smells like Chanel No. 5. Which one? The one what, Nellie? But that's the thing. I think that we all have something that we really like. And that's why there's all kinds of different brands. Kerastase, yeah, the Chanel No. 5 one. So I think that's, I think that's just personal preference. Like, I wish Kerastase smelled differently, but I really love how it makes my hair behave. So it's like the only product that makes my hair not act like a wacko. So, Okay, well, I'm going to stop this broadcast. And then I'm going to step over to my table and take the sweatshirt off because now I'm not cold anymore. And do a few practice nails on a sheet. So if you know somebody who you think needs to, invite them. All right. So for those of you who want to see practice nails, I'll see you in a minute. Otherwise, I will see the rest of you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Ciao. My lovelies. How can I see? I'll be right back here on my Periscope channel. I'm just going to turn this one off and walk over there and put my apron on and turn back on. All right. See you guys soon if you're watching practice nails.